And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Welcome to Open Connection. I'm your host, Robert Pictou. Our show today comes to you from traditional and unceded territory of the Tsimshian people. Throughout history, women have consistently overcome challenges and faced adversity to achieve success. Marie Curie was the first individual to achieve 2 Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry for her groundbreaking research on radiation in 1903 and 1911. Benazir Bhutto was the prominent Pakistani political figure who made history as the first woman to hold office of Prime Minister in the Islamic nation when she assumed the role in 1988. On today's Open Connection, we're bringing you highlights of a recent Nation to Nation Women's Gathering panel discussion, Taking Chances.
My name is Kaylin Hickford, and I just want to acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory of the Haisla Nation today. And I am the CEO of Pictou Connections. I am of both Celtic and Indigenous descent. Pictou is Cree for relationship and trust, and we really focus on fostering sustainable partnerships between nations and industry. I'm also really proud to sit on the board for Cheslata Carrier Nation's Economic Development Corporation. Before we jump into our panel this afternoon with all of our wonderful panelists, I just want to take a moment to say how honored I am to be a part of this year's Nation to Nation Women's Gathering. Lisa and her team do such an incredible job, and there are so many trickle-down effects of these conferences. I've been fortunate enough to attend a few over the past couple of years, and you hear about the relationships and networking and business that come out of these events and are really a part of Lisa's vision, both all the way down into the Lower Mainland, and I've heard about these conversations as far away as Manitoba and Saskatchewan. We are here today to talk about taking chances. And so what does it mean to take a chance? Taking chances is about stepping into the unknown, the path less traveled or the path not traveled at all. And in order to do so, you must make the courageous choice to align with your own authenticity and move forward from a place of intuition. That can be an incredibly difficult thing to do, especially as a woman when there's not necessarily a blueprint in front of you. And so when I've been looking for the courage to take chances in my life, I've looked to the women who've gone ahead of me. And today we have 3 really incredible and impactful women on this panel who are going to share their stories about taking chances. I've actually asked them to send me their introductions because I wanted to contextualize a little bit about who they are as I've gotten to know them over the course of the past couple weeks. Shireen is a Northwest Coast Indigenous entrepreneur, arts and crafts professional facilitator, traditional wildcrafter, carver, and illustrator. She's a member of the Witset First Nation, and she has over 25 years of experience in the Indigenous arts and culture sector. She loves learning traditional practices like medicine, songs, and feast systems from elders and knowledge keepers in her family. Most of all, she enjoys going on road trips and watching the seasons change around the region, just as her grandmother and mentor, Jenny Natesel, did in her later years. And something that I've learned about Shireen over the course of the past couple weeks is just how incredibly kind she is. One of our panelists wasn't feeling well, and she took the time to write out a list of traditional medicines who, for a woman who at that point was a stranger to her in her life. I've watched her have a lot of incredible patience with her grandson while we've been speaking on the phone, and she also took the time to walk me through her shop in Witset, which is incredibly beautiful, and if you have the chance, you should absolutely stop there. Next, we have Allison. Allison brings over 18 years of workplace experience as a PR professional. She specializes in community engagement, crisis and issues management, brand and web design, as well as major engagement projects. She started her firm, Monogram Communications, in 2019 on the traditional territory of Tla'atle and has grown it nationally to 20 team members, 90% of whom identify as women. Allison was also kind enough to join our panel last minute, and despite the fact that she was traveling all around Canada, hopped on a call, was incredibly warm, and also sent a very warm follow-up email. She is a local to Kitimat, and she knows a thing or two about taking chances. She left behind the corporate grind to prioritize balance, family, and explore what comes next. With 20 years of leadership, working with everyone from international hotel teams to communities in northern BC, Deborah has a passport full of stories, and she's here to talk real talk about growth, change, and trusting your gut. I moved to Terrace 3 weeks ago, and every single person I have spoken to about this panel knows Deborah. And they have nothing but incredibly positive things to say, both about your impact in business and your impact in community. So I think that really speaks to who you are as a person. The reason I wanted to share just a personal tidbit about everybody up on stage today is I would encourage all of you, when you're listening to these women's stories and just the incredible impact that they've had in their respective careers and who they are as people, when you're looking for the courage to take a chance, draw on that. Take that with you and draw on that, so that when you're looking to step forward, you can do the same as these incredible women have done.
Open Connection will be right back after these messages. And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Thanks for staying with us. Taking chances fosters personal development, ignites creativity, and creates new possibilities. It necessitates a change in your mindset from evading failure to pursuing your objectives. Failure is not a reflection of your identity. Rather, it's an integral component of the journey towards success. Let us rejoin the panel discussion as panelists share chances they took.
How do you differentiate between healthy caution and unnecessary fear when taking a chance or a risk? And Allison, let's start with you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. So warm. I came to the west coast of Canada from the east coast of Canada 25 years ago as a tree planter. I planted for 6 summers and fell in love. Since then, I've had the opportunity to stay and live on the beautiful traditional territory of the Lheidli-T'enneh, and I have 2 gorgeous kids, one of whom is turning 17 tomorrow. So I really wanted to thank Lisa for accommodating me today so I could be with my family tomorrow. Monogram Communications has built an environment that is different, I think, than many other organizations. We really prioritize the lives of women. And as you mentioned, we have 90% of the people on our team are women, and we allow them to work from wherever, whenever works for them. That I think is really important. They work to the energy that they have on a certain day, and they work to prioritize their family, and it benefits them and it benefits our clients as well. So we've been so privileged to get to work with so many First Nations in the area. And I just wanted to stop and recognize the Kitsillis people who just voted in their treaty and are going to now be self-governing people, no longer under the Indian Act. So I just wanted to put a shout out to them today for that. That is a massive step forward for them as a people. I'm a bold person. There's a quote that I really love. It says, boldness has a beauty in it. And I really believe that even when you are afraid, similar to the steps that you take on a path, and I think you really just need to keep moving forward. I think even acknowledging that it is a fear and knowing that you can move through it is so important. And as women, I think we need to lean on the people around us. I have my own mentors and family members who are always encouraging me. And I think that when we lean on the people who encourage us and know us, it provides a safety that we can move forward with.
So I was thinking that to be afraid of something is your gut is telling you that you shouldn't be doing this. It's wrong. You can't do it. And other people are feeding into that by telling you you're not able to do it. And that's a fear and what was the other one? A risk is actually not listening to that. Taking it on your own self to get out there and do what everybody's telling you not to do. And finding it within the power within you to be able to get over that fear and become good at what you think is not going to happen. Because if you don't, nobody else will. They can't do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And if you're not going to do it, it's not going to happen. So you're going to get over that fear of, I can't do this. They told me I can't do this. And I'm having a hard time speaking right now because I'm a little scared. But I'm doing it because I know that there's some of you out there that need to have that knowledge that you can do it too. You know, I'm shaking a little bit. I'm not usually really good at this, but sometimes I'm not. But I'm pushing through it. And that's where the courage comes from. And you're going to just know your strengths after that.
Open Connection will be right back after these messages. And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Welcome back to Open Connection. A healthy caution refers to a mindset characterized by carefulness, awareness, and mindfulness, which serves to shield you from potential harm or risk. Unlike paranoia or fear, which stem from anxiety, healthy caution is rooted in rational thinking and risk evaluation. Let us return to the panel discussion with Davy Sangir.
Yeah, I think fear screams, whereas a healthy caution, it's very quiet, and you have to be very still to be able to hear the difference between the two. Healthy caution is something that's much more grounded, whereas fear, it's loud, it's emotional, it's, I think, sometimes more self-doubt than it is actual fear. And I know recently, when I was taking a decision that was very difficult for me to, I say give up a job I loved, but it was to make a decision that was going to provide me more balance, more time with my family. And I remember sitting at the kitchen table, and that fear was constantly saying, why are you giving up something that's going to be the best opportunity you've ever had? And you've worked so hard for this. And then my daughter sat down, and she's telling me about her day and dance, and we're both present and excited. And I said, there was the healthy caution saying, what do you mean you're giving things up? You're not giving anything up. You're just taking more back. And so I think it's one of those things, fear naturally wants us to halt and stop. But if you actually push a little deeper, maybe there's something really exciting on the other side of that fear. And so I would really encourage you to use healthy caution when you have that unnecessary fear and ask yourself, is it safe? Is it aligned with my core values and who I am? And if you answer yes to those things, go and explore it. You can always go back.
Something that is really interesting around that whole point, right? Around healthy caution and having that knowing, right? I think that's something that everybody really touched on when your gut is speaking to you. I feel like, especially as women, we have this pressure, okay, you want to pivot and make a different decision, and you feel that there's this urgency or immediacy to that. But it's actually, if you're at A and you want to get to Z, it's okay to go to B or C before that. It's okay to take time with your decision and move towards what's aligned with you, right? What was something that you took a chance on, and what did you learn from it?
When I was 25, I call it my quarter life crisis. I was a teacher. I was a high school teacher, and my whole life I thought that I would be a teacher. I coached volleyball. I was a camp counselor, and I really thought that that's what I was going to be. And it's funny because I'm not the most. I'm a bold person, and sometimes I actually don't listen to myself and my body. And sometimes I don't trust what my body is telling me. But I would actually have moments going into school where my body would sort of shut down. Like it would not want to go into the classroom. And for me, that was really strange. It was definitely a physical sign that I was not in the right place. And so, as you discussed, I had to step back and do a little bit of digging to find out what is it that I love. And I thought, I'm a teacher. I'm pigeonholed. I can't move out of this role into something else. But actually, when I broke down all the skills of a teacher, researcher, presenter, communicator, a connector, someone who can present in front of the toughest audience you can imagine on a day-to-day basis. So all of those pieces that you have in yourself are the things that make you phenomenal. And when you lay them all out on the table, I think that's when you see all of the opportunity in front of you. And you can take all those pieces and reconfigure them and set yourself on a new path.
Business is a huge step. And my husband and I started out as just making dream catchers for Angelique Levesque of Angelique's Native Art in Prince George. And she said, well, you guys are doing so good. Why don't you just sell it by yourselves at your own table? And we're like, really? We can do that? You don't need us for your table? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. You're allowed. I was like, but we were selling for you. And we were making for you. And she just said, go do it. And we're like, okay, we'll go and do that. And we've done that for as many years as people loved me getting dream catchers. And then things changed and I decided to leave my part-time job. I'm not having a regular income. What am I going to do if nothing happens with my store? How am I supposed to help do the bills and, pay everything? My husband still has his job, thank goodness. But I went out there and I talked to people and talked to other business owners and other organizations and told them what I do and everything. And that was hard for me. But taking that step to stop my job, my income, to open my own store, I'm busier now than I ever was. So it was a huge, huge, huge step for me. And I'm so glad that I did it. And the relief of having these people come to me for my ideas and my knowledge and my products is just the world to me. So being able to give that gift to you, saying that you can do that too, is huge.
Open Connection will be right back after these messages. And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
A typical life is characterized by a continuous flow of distinct and unforgettable moments, such as holidays, trips, and graduations, that assist us in structuring our perception of time. In this final segment of Open Connection, Davey shares how COVID changed the perception of time.
About 12 years ago, my husband and I decided to move back to Kitimat on a 2-year plan. That was very successful, as you can see. And it was really hard for me. I loved the fact that we were coming home, but my career had been in the spa industry. I'd been working internationally. I'd been working with, big international hotels. And to come back here, I felt a bit lost. Like my career, I didn't know how to navigate it. But for my husband, it was a great opportunity. And there were so many positive things. So I navigated it for a few years. And then I finally, in my maybe late 30s, took the chance and decided to go for my master's. And that was a really tough decision for me. I had a 3-year-old. And of course, like I think many of us do, we map out how that next 18 months will go. Oh, I'm going to make sure I plan my second child to line with this date, and then I'll be on maternity. Well, my God, none of that happened. My son decided to come prematurely. I didn't graduate with the class I started with. COVID hit, and I ended up doing my residency in my camping trailer in my driveway for 3 weeks while my poor parents watched my son and my now 5-year-old daughter. But the thing was, it was very difficult. I thought, is this silly doing this in my late 30s? And it was very hard, but we adapted. Our family adapted every single time a new challenge came, and we never felt scared of it. And at the end of it, for my daughter to have seen everything we went through to make sure that I got that. And I ended up landing the role I had had my eyes set on for so long, just shortly after graduating. And I was able to go into that role with a completely different confidence. It was so empowering because I realized I was resilient. After doing that, it was very difficult, 24 months, but it was the most rewarding thing. And so I thought I'd share that story because I've taken a lot of different chances. So
I absolutely love that. And everybody feel free to weigh in at any time. Doesn't always have to be me. But I will say on the note of timelines, I appreciated Gina's shout out to everybody in their 20s. I've got 3 weeks left in my 20s. I'm really going to milk it. But my life looks a lot different than I thought it would. I'm single. I don't have any children, and that's okay. Everybody's journey can look however it looks. And I think just to celebrate and stand beside one another as we move forward on those journeys is the most powerful thing that we can do. Women often worry a lot about what others will think when they step outside of their comfort zones. So how did you manage that fear of judgment when you decided to take a chance?
Well, my family is quite traditional, and I remember when I told them that I was going to leave teaching and go into communications, my dad, his first question was, "What is communications?" Everyone communicates. So right then and there, I started doubting myself. Like, what is it? The moment someone questions your journey, is the opportunity for you to start questioning yourself. And it's also the opportunity for you to double down. So it's that moment of reflection and that time where honestly, you have to decide what it is that you're going to gain. And sometimes you just know that where you currently are is so uncomfortable and not where you should be. And I think women are very intuitive. I think that we should listen to our bodies more. We should listen to ourselves, and we should really lean on those people who know us best. So I also did my master's degree at that stage and took a chance. There were only 2 master's degrees in Canada, one on the very East Coast, one in Victoria, and I just really pushed through and then got some phenomenal jobs. And all of that experience led me to a place where I had the confidence to start Monogram on my own. 5 years later with the most phenomenal team. And I would say that's the other thing too, is really surround yourself with great people.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Open Connection. The greatest distance in the existence of man is not from here to there, but the connection from his mind and heart. If we can conquer that distance, we can soar like an eagle and realize our immensity within. I'm Robert Pictou.